And so here we are, folks. It's the one you've been waiting for. Who are this year's winners of the Wonderful Villages Awards? Hello, everyone. I'm Johnny Thompson, and welcome to the Village Halls podcast, sponsored by Allied Westminster, the UK's largest specialist provider of village hall insurance and the home of Village Guard. So, after much deliberation and discussion, our judges have now made their decisions, which means that today we can announce the 5 winners of the Wonderful Villages Awards. And to help me do this, I've been joined by 2 of our judges. Chairman of Rauceby Village Hall in Lincolnshire, Simon Bland, who wasn't allowed to enter the awards, and Gavin Mitchell, MD of Allied Westminster, who not only sponsor our podcast but organise the awards and provide the all-important prize money for the winning halls. Good day, gentlemen. Great to have you on the show once again.
Hi, Johnny. It's great to be here.
Thanks, Johnny. Fantastic to be back here and to be back with such good news and so many inspirational stories.
So here's a quick recap before we begin. There were 5 categories to enter in this year's Wonderful Villages Awards. We had the Unsung Hero or Heroes Award, the Young Persons Award, Project of the Year, the Innovation Award, and the Inspirational Story Award. And wow, what an incredible lot you all are out there. I think
Indeed,
it's
Johnny.
fair
Absolutely.
to say that we've been blown away by what people in their village communities across, well, the entire country are capable of.
Indeed, Johnny. In fact, in all the years I've been working with village halls and village communities, we still get surprised, impressed, and quite often moved when we hear amazing stories from villages and rural communities from all corners of the UK and in between.
However, there can only be 5 winners.
Absolutely, indeed.
So rather than keeping everyone waiting any longer, let's now reveal who has been chosen in each category. And Simon, as you were the lead judge for the Unsung Heroes Award, can you begin by announcing our first winner, please?
Thanks, Johnny. Well, whilst the other judges will claim to have had a hard task, we on the Unsung Heroes panel really did have an insight into both people and communities going that extra mile and then running a marathon. We had so many entries, the village Father Christmas approaching 4 decades of service, the number of people who provide ground and hall maintenance quietly and with dedication, a whole host of extraordinary fundraisers. The list and the impact is impressive and really did underpin the belief that community is as alive as ever. So I'm pleased to announce that Joan Maxfield, 40 years and counting her service to the community of the village of English Bicknell in Gloucestershire, is our unsung hero. A village hall trustee, a baker, an events organiser, really a village cheerleader who at 82 has just quietly and with great care kept the community spirit of the village going. And I'm really delighted that Daphne Gwilliam nominated Joan for us to hear her story. And I really look forward to the podcast episode with them.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. And if you're interested in finding out more about Joan and Daphne, well, Simon and I are hoping to introduce you to them both in the new year with a special episode of the podcast to celebrate their award. Now, Gavin, you kindly led the judging of our Young Persons Award, and we have a fantastic winner in this category, don't we?
Don't we just, Johnny? In fact, the winning entry for this category was submitted by Susan Lees from Grindon Village Hall in Staffordshire, who told us about the incredible contribution made by 27-year-old Hannah Bissett in their rural village in the Peak District.
And yes, again, we're not going to give too much away about Grindon and all of the time and effort that Hannah's put in at the Village Hall there, as we'll be inviting both Hannah and Susan onto the show in the new year to mark this category too.
Yes, Johnny, Hannah, amazing. She's done so much for the local community and been so involved with the Village Hall in so many different ways. I mean, it's not just one thing. It's right throughout the whole fabric of the local community, and I think she's very much appreciated by the local community. And it was an absolute pleasure to read all about it, and I'm sure we're going to learn more.
Now, there is one winner you've actually already heard from on our podcast back in October. The winner of this year's Wonderful Villages Innovation Award is Shustoke Village Hall in the West Midlands, who, thanks to Nick Cole, came up with a great way of controlling the heating in the hall without anyone actually needing to be there. I'm delighted to say that Bernard Hammock from our podcast sponsors Hallmaster will be joining me soon to talk more about that system that Nick has set up there in Shustoke, and Nick will be coming back on the show again too. Now, Simon, Janet Ridge MBE, kindly helped us to judge a particularly challenging category, the Project of the Year. Now, Janet too will be joining us for a future episode with the winners of this category, but perhaps you could do the honours for now and make this announcement.
Okay, Johnny, I'm really pleased to announce that Jane Haslam nominated the Centre of Pendeen. They've been running an environmental project for a number of years, and I have to say I'm particularly interested to hear more about this one when they undertake the podcast with Janet. It looks a fantastic, sustainable activity and really underpins some of the work that I know village halls across the country have been doing on sustainability.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. I'm really looking forward to Jane coming on the show soon as well. There's so many things that are part of the Sustainable Pendeen project that I think a lot of our listeners will find really interesting. And finally, over to Gavin again to introduce the winner of our Inspirational Story Award, which this year goes to...
Thank you, Johnny. The answer, and we can wait, the pause, the great pause, it's Tarbuck Jubilee Village Hall. They're the winners with their entry submitted by Vicky Corcoran. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Corcoran, who, along with many local volunteers, have brought their village hall back to life, which is absolutely buzzing with activity. And again, I think we're going to hear more about this, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely. We'll ask Vicky how to say it, because I would say Corcoran, you say Corcoran.
Well, there we go.
I say potato, you say potato.
Well, when you're up the northwest of Scotland,
we'll get Vicky to clarify that.
Malig. Oh dear. So yeah, apologies. I'm very bad at that sort of thing, Johnny. So yeah. I'm sure you're correct.
Yeah. No, hey, listen. Yeah, I'm sure you could be right. You know what I mean. But thanks, Gavin. Anyway, and many thanks also to Mick Keynes, who led the judging for this category, and who you will hear more from, along with Vicky, when she tells us how to pronounce her name correctly, in another special episode in the new year. And really looking forward to that one.
Great, good.
Congratulations to all, and of course, Gavin. £1,000, courtesy of Allied Westminster, will be on its way to the winning halls soon.
Thank you, John. It's been an absolute pleasure to be back on the show, and I'm very proud that Allied Westminster has underpinned yet another wonderful village awards. And this time, of course, it's not the photo competition as in previous years, and I think this is a great format. So a huge thanks to all of those who have entered the competition. It's been amazing. But again, Johnny, we're going to hear more, won't we?
Yeah. We'll certainly be hearing more in due course. So that's our 5 winners, folks. If you entered and you didn't win an award this time, don't worry. We will almost certainly be running the awards again next year, as it has been incredible for all of us to hear about so many projects, local heroes, and terrific ideas. And you never know, I may also be in touch with some of you next year to invite you onto the podcast to talk about your village hall and everything that goes on there. It's been incredibly hard judging these awards this year, hasn't it, guys?
It really has, and as I say, I can't think of it as purely just winners, because every entry had so much merit, so much support, and demonstrated such a love of community life that they really are things for us to really hear about in podcasts if possible.
It's been hard, but it's been a privilege. And as I said earlier, it's been moving as well. It's been great. Fantastic.
And there you have it. Thanks again to Simon and Gavin for helping with the judging of the awards, and to Janet, Bernard and Mick, of course. And thanks for helping me today with the announcement, guys. I'm sure we'll be chatting again soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Johnny. We will indeed. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, I hope so.
And so that's all for now, folks. In the run-up to Christmas, I'll be back with a quick roundup of Season 2, looking back at some of the podcast highlights from this year, so watch out for that one. As always, many, many thanks to our headline sponsor and specialist insurance provider, Allied Westminster, for making our podcast possible, and whose services you can discover more about at villageguard.com, and to online booking system provider Hallmaster, who also sponsor our podcast and can be found at hallmaster.co.uk. You've been listening to the Village Halls podcast, a unique listening community for Britain's village, church and community halls, and anyone interested in the vital community services they provide. We'll be back again soon with another episode. Please visit thevillagehallspodcast.com to subscribe, sign up for updates, link through to our social media pages, and to find out more. But until the next time, goodbye for now.